Yo, what's up, everybody, man? It's your boy Amaso T, and today we're gonna be jumping into my Thor build. It's not like 100% complete. He's only level 145, but I figured this would, it'd be a good little opportunity to show you just certain ways you can build him. And again, I don't have him a master of anything. I just got him good at everything. As you can see, my stats aren't anything spectacular by any means. But it's the buffs that make this build worth it. And again, it's not complete, but I'm just going to go ahead and start over with my might at 185. My precision is at 67. Proficiency is at 76. My valor is at 122. Resolve is at 75. Resilience is at 67. My intensity is at 41. My melee damage is at 1400. My range damage is at 955. My crit chance and perk chance is 18.3 and 17.2. Hold on, let's do this. 17.2. My heroic effectiveness is at 4,000. My critical damage is at 21 or 213%. My maximum willpower is 13,000, which for Thor is not super high. Out of all the characters, Thor has the greatest ability to get the most, heroic rating. I've seen people with like 15,000 heroic rating with him. So willpower effectiveness at recovery is at 87%, so pretty good. Almost as good as my Hulk's. Armor is at 24%, and the stun damage meter is at 42%. Dude, his stun damage is insanity. And his status resistance is at 22.6, with all of my charge ratings at 6.0. Now, I got to do something about that charge rate, but I didn't really do anything too extraordinary about that, simply because of this major artifact, the Ring of Nibelung. I can never say this. So we're just going to call it the Ring of Nibble Nibble. So the Ring of Nibble Nibble gives us the increases amount restored by 11%. So on average, where you need like 9 gold orbs, it might make you need like 4 or 5. So actually, and then we're just going to drop down to our minors right quick. I have damage reduction from all gamma attacks, and then 50% increased stun damage from heavy combos, and a 2% chance enemies will drop additional resources. Now, I just kind of put this on yesterday just because I needed like a buff boost. So this will definitely be coming off. You know what I'm saying? I don't particularly care that much about it. 0.2% chance is not enough of anything for me to really care that much about it. I only really just put it on because it didn't give me any negative ratings. So as far as our gear loadout goes, man, we can start with our what is this? Melee gear, and we got the Van Braces of the Allfather, and this, I love this. 15% increased damage while Odin Force is active. Light combo finishers invoke Flare of Gamma Radiation, and then 20% increased status damage from Odin Force attacks. Right. So, regardless, you hit R2, you're getting 15 plus damage, and then 20 plus status damage off the jump. That does not include any other buffs that your Thor might be getting. So then I also decided to go with this, and 15.5% pinning enemy grants an intrinsic burst. Pinned enemies take shock damage over time. And see, I like to smite folks, which means I throw in the hammer and just striking folks with lightning. It just clears stuff out. But this is the thing that made me just definitely keep this on here. The 52% chance that defeating an enemy with a ranged attack will give you a damage buff. Now, the thing about the throwing the hammer and then striking people with the lightning, that lightning strike counts as a ranged attack. I believe it also counts as a ranged critical. So if you throw the hammer into a hallway full of dudes and you just start striking lightning and it catches 4 or 5 people, and let's say you kill 3 of them, buff. So this is what I did for his defense, you know, because as you can see, his defense is 12. So, I mean, it's not terrible, but, you know, for Thor, slightly squishy. And so I decided to add just a 14% chance when taking damage to activate Jarvis Barrier. And this protects against 20% of maximum willpower. Basically stating that I get hit, it's a good chance that I will, the barrier will pop up. And so for something like this, you know, for those of you who are dodgers, something like this would not be good to put on. But when I play with Thor, same as when I play with Hulk, I try not to dodge very often unless it's a heavy attack, just so I can get this barrier going up. You know what I'm saying? And then we go down here to a lightweight blitz belt, which is 17.5 increased damage from like combo finishers. So, and then we have the critical buff, which is a 28% chance that a takedown gives you a damage buff. And then defeating 3 enemies in rapid succession grants you an intrinsic burst. So, damage buffs, 2. Damage buffs, 3. Damage buff, damage buff. We got 4 damage buffs on him. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and run over here to our skills and just kind of hit like a quick breakdown. I'm not going to go super deep into this. Support heroic, I have it temporary damage boost for enemies for nearby allies for 25%. I have when enemies are defeated with Warrior's Fury, 50% chance to drop a heroic orb. But to be honest, I might, you know what I'm saying, change this just because I'm going to I'm just gonna keep that on. Alright, so as far as our assault heroic goes, I have the Whirlwind, the son of the Elder Gods, which basically makes it so when you're doing his attack, tornadoes will form and do status damage for about 5 to 10 seconds before he actually does his God Blast. But some people like to keep the 3 God Blast charges up. As far as I've noticed, they don't do as much damage, but I could be wrong. But that's just as far as I've noticed. And over here we got Overcharge Blast, which is basically God Blast inflicts 20% increased damage when triggered while overcharged. So, Bifrost leaves magic. I have Muspelheim's Torment, which basically means when you do the Bifrost, it leaves like a ring and does residual burn damage over time. And then we have the Asgard's Light, which recovers 50% of your maximum health power. So basically, if you are low on health, you do your Bifrost, drop back down, you're at full health or close to it. So as far as mastery goes, combat, I have increased all ranged attack damage by 15%. You know, I wanted to make Thor really strong when it came to hand-to-hand, but again, he's Thor. So I feel like if he hits you or whether he hits you with the hammer, you should be sleeping. So I wanted to make sure that that was a thing. Increase damage from combo finishers by 25%. So you remember how we had that one buff that has 17.5% light combo finishers? Add an extra 25% to that. Takedowns will recover 15% of your max health willpower. So just more health, takedowns. So not only will you get your health back from your takedown, but because of our other gear, there's a 28% chance that you'll also get a damage buff from that as well. I personally, as far as the ranged, I have this impact explosion just because I have so much status damage. As you can see, when it lands, it sparks. So the increase in status damage, you know, if you throw that into like a crowd, it's gonna spark up on like 4 or 5 people doing good amount of damage. But it really just depends on how strong your ranged is. Once I get my ranged up a little bit more, it'll be ridiculous. My goal is to get both my melee and my ranged to at least 2,000 a pop. So that's the goal. As far as my flight, I got charged flight, which means, you know, when I fly and land, it'll do that, explode. And then if you hit L2 or I'm sorry, R2 while you know, right before you land, it'll send lightning out as well, so it'll charge that up. As far as intrinsic ability, I got ionic bolts, which means when my Odin Force is active, anybody near me is just gonna get struck with lightning. I also have increased maximum amount of intrinsic Odin Force by 15%, because again, like I told you guys, I like throwing the hammer and then striking people with the lightning strikes. So I just, I get a little bit more Odin Force from that. And then reduces the overall cost of using intrinsic energy, your Odin Force, by 10%. Like I said, I like to use Odin Force, so I want to be able to use it as much as I can. And so then I have my lightning field when it comes to intrinsic overcharge. Basically means when I'm overcharged, lightning bolts will just start dropping down and hitting anybody near me. As far as I have charge resistance on, which is it increases the damage resistance by 50%. So when you're overcharged, you're basically taking no damage. And then if you have your Jarvis barrier on top of that, that's 70% damage you're not taking. You feel me? So, and then increases all damage by 15% when Odin Force is overcharged. So, yeah. That's how I have him set up. So now I'm gonna take you guys into some gameplay so y'all can kind of just see how that rolls. And yeah, so okay, all right, so let's just go ahead and see. We took that little bit of damage. Now we got that shield up, and they're really good people to like get that going with, because as soon as they shoot that little laser, you know what I'm saying, like even dodging from side to side with it is gonna hit you just a little bit. More than likely it'll be enough to get that going. And just, with the, let's see if we get a damage buff from this. Yep, 28% chance, and Ho got one going too. I don't know what he got it from, but sucks we couldn't use it on anything, but whatever.
Destroy the turbines.
I like these, I ain't gonna lie to you. As I like to like blow one up, kill all the enemies, and then go to the next one. See if we can start with a damage buff. Nah. That'd be nice. See if we can catch one. Nah, we didn't get one from any of them. That's cool though. Now again, my lightning giving you a damage buff theory is only if after you throw your hammer and strike them with lightning, it counts as a long range or a ranged attack. I'm not sure if it does or not, to be 100% honest with you. But you see how that done hit me a couple of times? Now I got that going. Now we're putting in Odin Force and just kind of shredded through him almost instantly. Almost instantly. It was I almost didn't dodge it. Rough. But the Odin Force really that comes in super handy. Because again, we have the gear that has the extra attack damage on it. And I mean the extra shock damage. You know what I'm saying? So that just kind of helps that out. And then the extra damage from the Odin Force with the spin. Oh man, it's so nice. So we're gonna see if we can't get overcharged. Just kind of beating up on some folks right quick after we destroy this. Oh my lord, they're trying to catch me slipping. I probably should have waited, but it's all good. We overcharged now though. Whoa, it's eating through folks. And when you're overcharged, we have it set so we got the extra 15% damage. But I need to rework mine so that my overcharge lasts longer. But then in addition to that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're using your Odin Force while doing your like hammer spin, or if you were to do this and end it with like that, that's a light combo. So we have 3.5% extra damage with light combo finishers. You know what I'm saying? Because you finish that with a light attack. Light combo finishers. Boom, boom, boom. As far as I believe that's how that could work. But even if that's not how that works, let's say it's not, you could still use the hammer spin technique that Thor uses and end that last one off with the additional 17%. So, you know, it really just, it's like that move. That would end it off with the additional 17%. If, you know, the previous form, you know, won't work. But that's that extra shock, that, you know, that extra shock damage. It definitely comes in handy. And it definitely comes in handy to clear out a room. Like, I got 12,000 on the lightning strike just then. So, and there wasn't a damage buff in there. You know, it wasn't like I had Warrior's Fury activated where I get an additional, what, like 15% damage bonus anyway. It wasn't like I had that in, you know. So, if we don't have to, alright, so yeah, this will just kind of be a good level to just fight. So, we're going to run over here and not let that hit us. No, sir. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that at all. I'm a little upset that it happened. See if we can go ahead and knock off this, these little overshields with our stuff over here. Hopefully we can get a damage buff off this takedown, maybe. Nah, that's cool. Because we overcharged pretty good right now. I need to set it so my Thor stays overcharged longer. Because with the build that I have, he needs to be able to stay overcharged for as long as he can. You know what I'm saying? So that way, if you're overcharged, you have the 15% damage buff. If you're not overcharged but have Odin Force, you have the 15% damage buff. Either way it goes, you keep the 15% damage buff. And depending on what moves you're using, you know, your attacks might even be a little bit stronger if you're using Rage and it's a move that implies like a status. Like status, it adds status damage. So, yeah, man. But hey, man, that's my Thor build. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know how you guys have your Thors built. I'd love to, you know, just kind of check out some of you guys' videos and take some inspiration from you guys. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm Marcel T, and I'll catch you guys later.